Hello my love and welcome back. I hope you're having a magical day. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, I'm Yannika. I do tarot readings and then I also talk about the chakras and gene keys and all kinds of magical things, and I love unicorns. And so for today, I feel really nervous about this one. This is another rainbow talk, and this time I'm gonna be talking about the heart chakra. And as I was tuning into this energy, I was like, wow, there's so many things I want to say and so many things I don't want to say because it feels very vulnerable. It feels very raw and open, and you might resonate with this, but sometimes like tuning into your heart space can actually feel like a lot because there's a lot going there. And maybe this transmission or what's coming through will be a little bit of an opening to why that is. And I just really want to also share my own experiences with connecting to my heart chakra, and when you're able to sweep away all the grief and the blockages, what that can bring for you. So there's hope. There's always hope. And I really feel like there is a message from the unicorns today here as well. So I have my magical unicorns deck with me, and I'd like to at the end pull a card for the collective. I really feel that unicorns are these like very innocent, pure love beings, so that goes beautifully with the theme of the heart chakra. And also, yeah, it's just a beautiful energy to connect to, and it's loving. There's like a beautiful innocence to it, and yeah, we'll see what the message is after the little story time. But okay, so your girl's been drawing again. I will show you this. Oh, and my rose fell out. My dear friend gave me this. It's a little paper rose. It's so sweet. So yeah, the heart chakra. So it is the center of our whole kind of energy body, or the 7 main chakras, and it's the center of love, compassion and connection. And these are probably not new things to you, but I'm saying them to just kind of clarify, and then also to build some kind of like linkages. We'll get into it. Yeah, so actually the heart chakra is also a bridge between the lower chakras, so your solar plexus, sacral, and then your root chakra. And if you're interested in knowing or listening to more about them, I also have made 3 videos on them, so you can go to my channel and watch those too if you haven't already. You don't need to actually watch all of them, just the ones you feel called to, or if you feel like all of them, that's fine too. But yeah. So yeah, your heart chakra is a bridge between the lower chakras and then also the upper chakras. And then that would be your throat chakra, your third eye, and then your crown. And so it makes sense. So if there's a block in the center, it affects both. And I personally have experienced this multiple times. So I first want to talk a little bit about like what can block our heart chakra and how then it affects the other ones, and then go into a little bit of a story time. But yeah, for me personally, the main way that my heart chakra has been blocked is when I've experienced like intense grief or pain. So that would be when a loved one has passed over, or I've had a breakup or betrayal, or a relationship, whether that's friendship or a romantic relationship, and those have been the moments that it's been really hard to actually tap into my center, and I've actually kind of felt very disconnected from my body, and like pleasure, and also really disconnected from my like intuition and having clarity. I feel kind of fogged in those moments, like nothing makes sense, or I just can't, you know, have like this positive outlook on the future. And now I kind of understand that that's because like the center channel is not allowing the energy to flow, so I'm not able to have clarity on the future. It just all feels foggy. And then also your heart chakra is very much connected to your sacral chakra, so this is the center of emotions. And when I like made this connection, it started to make a lot of sense for me. Like, it is very obvious, but then it's not. Maybe you resonate with this, maybe you don't. But so when I've been in like intense grief and heart blocked energy, I've really found it hard to find like joy. And the sacral chakra is the center of like joy and pleasure and creativity. And maybe you might resonate with this, but it's tough to create when you know you are in grief. And energetically that makes sense, because the heart is literally like not letting the energy flow to your sacral chakra. So then it's a question of, you know, how do we unblock or how do we heal our heart chakra so that the energy may flow into our sacral, so we can tap into like pleasure and joy and creativity, but also that we are able to have this like bigger clarity and future forward vision for our lives. And yeah, so the heart is really the center of all of that. And yeah, and I think most of us have probably like felt it in our hearts. At least I can really feel it when my heart puts walls up. It's just this like withdrawing, and and then I think we can all like intuitively feel into how it feels like when our heart is very open. It feels really like just happy, just in love with life. Like, it's an ecstatic feeling. It's beautiful, it's poetic, it's romantic, and it's just a really like pleasant state to be in. Like, everything is possible, you know, like the future is clear and bright, you're in joy, you're in pleasure. And that's because like all of the energies are flowing freely in your body and in your chakra system. This is not to say that it is always needed for the heart to be open, even though that is a positive or a beautiful state to be in. But actually understanding that like with everything in life, you know, there's contraction and then there's expansion, there's opening and then there's closing. And sometimes it is required that we close our hearts. And I think, no, I don't think, this was my experience in the beginning of my spiritual journey, where I kind of put a lot of shame on myself for closing my heart. And I would like blame myself that, oh, because I closed my heart, bad things happened to me, or I wasn't met with love, or I had these like negative experiences. And that's not true at all. And it took me a while to actually realize that like my heart needed to have closed off time, because it needed time to heal. You know, if a wound is constantly open and you know there's like exposure to bacteria and sun and water and things, it takes a longer time for that wound to heal. So then like closing off, you give yourself some rest, you give your heart some rest so it may heal itself. And when I started to really like appreciate that about myself, that I am able to, you know, tune into my heart when it needs healing and when it needs time to be by itself, that really helped me build a stronger and a more aligned relationship with my own heart. And also I want to say that there is a lot of how could I phrase this in a way that is clear? Yeah, I think in society there's a lot of, we're being rewarded for being really open-hearted, especially as women, you know, to be nurturing and loving and compassionate, unconditionally loving. But the reality is that that is not always the best thing for us. And that might sound a little bit like weird or counterintuitive, but let me explain. Because if the world around us or the people around us hurt us or disrespect us or causes pain of any, like emotional abuse, gaslighting, or manipulation, then us keeping our hearts open to these people actually allows them to hurt our hearts. And that's not okay. You don't need to do that. We don't need to do that, actually. It is, I'm getting emotional, it is beautiful to notice when people are not behaving in your best interest and not treating you with love, but they're actually putting their own fear and pain onto you. And then it is more than fair for you to protect yourself and put up some walls. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's really funny, I really felt called to film in this spot today, and if you can see my background, there's like a rock wall, and then there's also a fence. And as I was tuning into the heart chakra energy, I really felt like, yeah, this needs to be there, because to say that it's okay to have these walls and these fences to protect your property, to protect your heart. And you don't need to build, you know, a barbed wire fence or an electric fence around your heart, or like guard it with like spikes and things. And, you know, it doesn't need to be coming from a place of fear. It can actually come from a place of love, like, this is my property, this is my heart, and I get to decide what kind of behavior, what kind of people, what kind of experiences are welcomed here in my space. And for me, that's been a big lesson. And if this resonates, like, leave a comment. Yeah, I'd love to hear your stories as well, or what you think about this. Or if you've had a completely different experience with this. I mean, we're all unique. That's totally fine. Comment that as well. But yeah, so protection, boundaries. It's okay to have walls. It's okay to have fences for your heart. But there's also a little side note on that. But also notice if it's coming from fear, or if you're building the fences out of love. Because that makes a huge difference. When we put boundaries up from a loving place of like, hey, I deserve to be treated with love and respect, you will be an energetic match to people who treat you with love and respect. But if you put a boundary of like, oh, I'm scared that someone's gonna hurt me, don't come close to me, don't touch me, I don't want to be around people like you, then you're just putting more fear out into the world. And oftentimes you might be met with more fear that way. Yes, something to notice and never to shame yourself about. Let me see. Okay, I wanted to talk about an experience. Whew. This is like the part I didn't want to talk about, but I really feel called to share this story. So last summer I went to like a beautiful conscious festival called Natural High Healing Festival in Finland. If you've ever been or you want to go, comment as well. It's such a nice place. Love, just love. And I went to this kind of like a conscious relating cuddle party event that was being held there. I had just recently had a heartbreak and had a separation from a partner. But I was feeling like I really wanted to kind of get myself out there and meet new people and to do it in like a conscious, safe space. Because as we girlies know, the dating world can sometimes be interesting. But yeah, that's another episode. So I thought like, okay, cool. Like, let's go. Like, I'm ready. I did not tune into my heart before I made this decision for my heart and for my body. In hindsight, I could have asked. I didn't. So I go in and I'm like, okay, cool, this will be really fun. And we're partnered up with random people, and I'm partnered up with this like lovely, super like loving, bright energy woman who's really respectful and kind. And the exercise was to like kind of sense energetically where the other person's boundaries are when it comes to the body and the energy body as well. And I was like, ooh, okay. I was very interested because I really recognize that like sensually and sexually, I'm more of an energetic person. I don't know if you've done like the erotic blueprint test. It's so fun, it's so beautiful. It's by Miss Jaya, and you can like see yeah, like what your sexual blueprint is or erotic blueprint is. And there's like energetic, sexual, sensual, kinky, and shapeshifter, I think. Anyway, that's a tangent, but it's very, very interesting. So I recognize that I'm more energetic and sensual. So I was like, oh, this will be really nice. And so the first exercise is to sense the other person's energy body. And I started with like sensing her energy body. You will close your eyes and like open up your hands. Also, they're connected to the heart chakra, so you can like really, when you rub your hands and you get the energy really flowing into your hands, you can start to feel energy in a different way. And it was really interesting to feel her energy body and where she would like let me in. And I could feel there was like a little resistance, and then it like gave way for me to like place my hands on her heart center. That was so beautiful. It was such a nice experience to like sense the other person's like, oh, this is me, and then letting you in to their space. Like, oh, it was really precious, and I really appreciated her for letting me be in her field and letting me touch her heart space. It felt very precious and like a loving experience. Then it came my turn. And I was like, okay, cool, like let's do it. And she started with the hands and coming closer to my energy body, and she could like sense my wall and or my energy. And as she did, she literally went like this. My energetic body was just like, no. And she was like, hey, like, oh, I noticed that like they're like, you're not letting me in, so I'm not gonna continue further, which I really respected. She was really super respectful of my boundaries, and that felt really healing. And then I was like, okay, interesting. And she was like, well, do you want to try again and see? And I was like, yeah, okay. And my mind was like, this is such a lovely person, like why don't you like let her in, why don't you want to like have this experience? And you know, it felt so nice to be in her heart space, why don't you allow her to be in yours? And I made this whole story, and I made this whole thing in my head about like needing to do something for this other person. I went straight into this like people pleaser mode. Even though this experience was for me to really just notice and be present with myself and be aware of my own heart space. And so we tried again, and the same thing happened again, and it was again like no. My heart space was like, not ready. Shop closed. Please do not enter. Barbed wire. And I was like, okay. And yeah, it really made me think. I was like, huh, okay, like that's the state I'm in. I wasn't actually even aware that my heart was so guarded until we did this exercise. But she was really respectful. She was really kind about it. She's like, hey, it's okay. And thank you for this experience. And I was like, thank you so much for listening to my boundaries and respecting them. And we tried to do like another exercise with a different partner. It wasn't happening. And then I just said that like, okay, I think it's time for me to just step out and be with myself. And I went to the back of the room and I just like put my hands on my heart and I meditated, and just tears just started falling down. It was just like very cathartic. I just cried. You know, people are in a cuddle puddle and then I'm there crying by myself. It was really like embarrassing, but also at this point I'm okay with being embarrassing and crying in public. So, you know, it's what I needed, and that's that. But yeah, I share this story to out myself clearly. No, to share it because if you're feeling like your heart space is blocked or guarded, or you know there's barbed wire and guards and like crocodiles and like a castle wall, that's totally fine. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And trying to push yourself like I did and override these walls didn't really, I mean, I had a beautiful experience, but I feel like if I had just listened to my heart and tuned in, it would have also, you know, saved me from slight public humiliation. But you know, keeps you humble. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, that's my story with the heart. And and one more thing I want to say about like putting these walls up is that it really sometimes helps you to reconnect with yourself. I've spent the past year single, and I've also not been dating, not engaging with people romantically. So I've really had a chance to like tune into me and be with myself and be with my heart. And that's been such a beautiful journey. And there's been a lot of like emotions, a lot of grief, and a lot of processes that have happened, but it has allowed me, as I've cleared these blocks, really get more in touch with my intuition and also with my joy and pleasure and creativity. And as a result, I'm really excited to share that I have been creating something a little bit secretly. I haven't shared this with a lot of people, but I've created a little course. It's called 8 Days of Magic, and this is my gift to the collective to get in touch with their intuition and their heart space. And yeah, so I've collected and gathered all the things that have really helped me on my journey to just expand in love and expand in my magical practices, and to really begin to reopen my heart and, you know, have the walls, you know, taking down the barbed wire and the crocodiles. I've left them in safer lakes and waters. So yeah, if that sounds like something that resonates with you, if you feel like there is a room for more magic in your life, or maybe you've been craving something that, yeah, really, there's no reason to do this course actually, like logically, to be honest. And that's why it's funny that I kind of created it, or I felt called to create it, like, but it is incredibly beneficial for the quality of your life. And I don't say that lightly. Like, magic has completely reshaped my life and my perception and how I see the world around me, and it is just, it's a good place to be in. It's beautiful to look at the world and see beauty everywhere and see love everywhere. So yeah, if that feels aligned, check it out. I'll put a link in the description below and in my bio. So yeah, wow, I don't know why I got emotional there. Well, heart chakra stuff, so emotions, they're here. And good. Is there anything else I wanted to say about the heart chakra? Let me see. Yes, one more thing. Or do I? Let me think. Yes. So sometimes, you know, if you've watched my videos before, you notice that I do a little heart meditation before I start my readings. And then I still talk a lot about intuition. And with the chakras, you can kind of see them as separate, like third eye, intuition, and then heart chakra here. But for me, somehow, or not somehow, like it makes sense energetically. I really often like go straight to my heart. And this is because I know that I'm like energetically, or my energy body or my system. So I'm a projector, 5-1 projector. If you're into human design, love, but also a gene key girly, more than human design. But with being a projector, and if you are a projector, comment below, respect, come and hang. This is a safe space for all the projectors. I have a lot of open centers. So for example, my third eye center and my crown center are completely open. The only centers that are like colored in or closed, or kind of like mine in a way, or yeah, not open, is my throat and my heart. So for me, it's a lot more easier to tune into what I actually like the intuitive messages and guidance when I'm connected to my heart space. And energetically, that makes complete sense, because when you have an open, unblocked heart center, you're able to also like get the messages from the third eye down to your heart, because it is, again, like I said, the bridge between the upper chakras and the lower chakras. And the beautiful thing about also tuning into your heart is that not only are you getting, the intuition down here, you will also get, your body is the lower chakras also bringing in the messages into your heart center. So it's more like a coherent, guidance. I feel like I'm getting all the information siphoned in, and I'm able to then come from a really centered, really true place to me. But that is me personally. If you're interested in this, it's really fun to check out your human design profile, to see like what centers are colored in and what are open. So when it's open, you're taking a lot of information from other people, your environment, and that's not a bad thing at all. So that can actually help. So for example, for me, like, it's easy to tap into a lot of different energies. I have medium skills and psychic skills because of my open centers. So yeah, a lot of beauty. There's beauty in each energetic system, but it's just like coming into an understanding of how that works for you and how you can best use that to fulfill your purpose here, which I believe is to be loved at the end of the day. Like, of course, there's many purposes, but love being a really big one for all of us collectively. Cool. Okay, so that was, this wanted to pop out. I have to show it. I got this little sticker from my friend. It's a little envelope with a rose. So yeah, a little message there. Sending you so much love. Alrighty, that was vulnerable. I'm having a vulnerability hangover. But that's okay. it's okay. I trust that there is someone who needed to hear that and see me have a tiny little cry on camera. So yeah, enjoy. Crazy, crazy stuff. So yeah, let's get a message from the unicorns, and then I will let you get on with your magical, beautiful day. I mean, look at these cards. Isn't it so pretty? It's so pretty. Okay. Yes. Okay. Oh, beautiful. So, the card is decide, and it says it's time to clearly make a decision about what you want. And I love, it's kind of like the backdrop that I have. I don't have a fountain here yet, maybe someday, but like the wall, you know, and then having an opening, you know. So yeah, I love that message of, you know, you can have this wall and then you can open your door to the people who really love and respect you and treat you with kindness. I'm also loving the flowers, the yellow ones and the pink ones and the unicorns, mane. So beautiful. So if there has been, or if there is a decision that you are needing to make, I know this is definitely calling me out, because there's a big decision that I need to make in terms of where I want to live and move. So yes, but anywho, if there's a decision that you're needing to make, it's time to make a decision and decide. And since we've been talking about the heart chakra, I feel like there might be a little message there of really tuning into this space when you do make a decision. Your intuition and your heart, in my experience, will always bring you where you need to go. Always. You can trust. You can trust that it's gonna be so beautiful. All right. As you go through life, you gain more responsibilities. One of the biggest is to decide what you want. You're now in a time where you could go in a few different directions, depending upon your decisions. In other words, you must decide, what's next for me? It's not always easy to make decisions. Fortunately, you have help. You can call upon heaven to guide you, as well as trusted friends, family members, and experts. You can also try on your future. This means closing your eyes and imagining the different possibilities for yourself, and then noticing how each choice feels. Which one makes you feel happiest? Which choice makes you feel loved and safe? Which one feels like it would be the most helpful to yourself and others? Always choose a path where you can do the most good in the world. Oh, unicorns! So cute. If you ever feel stuck, as if your life isn't moving along smoothly, then you need to make some clear decisions about what you want. Decisions are magical in that they get things moving again. If you don't like the direction in which your life is going, you can examine your decisions to see if they need changing. The best decisions will make you feel happy and will make the people around you happy too. Such a cute message. I just love the unicorns. Let me know if you're connected to the unicorns or if you feel very resonant. There's a lot more unicorn stuff gonna be happening on this channel for sure. And also, without spoiling too much, the unicorns are definitely present in 8 Days of Magic. So if you feel called to unicorns and the energy, or dragons and fairies, 8 Days of Magic, definitely for you. Okay, I will leave it there for today, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day and you get to make a yummy, juicy decision and tune into your heart, and then it just opens a golden, rainbow colored pathway to you, to your dream life. Okay. Thank you for tuning in. And if you like this, like the video, subscribe for more. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you again soon. Mwah! Bye!